welcome to another episode of Conversing with the Griffins. I am Tanya. We have
Master
Josh. And then we have
the third oldest.
Look, I was waiting for Josh to say servant since he said master. Anyway, yes, Tanya. They'll be announced later. Tanya, Josh, and Ryan back at you. So like we do, we're going to kick this off with a quote. Being a family means you are a part of something very wonderful. It means you will love and be loved for the rest of your life. Aww. That's by Lisa Weed. Yes.
He clearly hasn't met Josh.
Clearly hasn't met Josh. Okay, so we're gonna shake. Huh? What'd you say?
I think I was the inspiration for the quote.
Oh,
okay.
Wow. So we're gonna take the subject matter from our jar. And this says to share your most embarrassing moments. Why are you?
I should pick another one.
Stuck?
We've already.
Huh?
We do that. We did that one.
No, we didn't.
Pick another one.
We said the dumbest thing you ever did.
Which was also the most embarrassing.
Not mine. That wasn't my most embarrassing moment.
I can rehash the same thing I said, but that's fine.
Josh, you have had more than one embarrassing moment.
But his.
Okay, so share an embarrassing moment.
I cut my hair.
Another embarrassing. So you only had one embarrassing moment in your whole.
I did it twice. No, I did it twice. Done.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Ryan, what about you? And I know you've had plenty of embarrassing moments.
I don't get embarrassed. So
and that was it was what it was.
You said what?
I mean, you just woke up. That was embarrassing as itself.
I get it. Right after you looking in the mirror. I get it.
I do have your picture on the mirror. Yes.
Okay, boys. See, I always have to wheel it back in. Okay, so are we not doing this topic?
Yeah, we choose a different one.
Just stir it around a little bit and shake it and see what else. It sounds like you have something. It sounds like you have something you want to share. Maybe we can hear your ridiculously embarrassing one.
Okay, never mind.
And then we can go to another topic.
Forget it. You do the wheelchair guy for you.
What wheelchair guy?
No, I have another one.
Tanya trying to save the day and end up making things worse for a senior citizen.
Okay, I'm gonna pick a different topic.
Oh no. Let's not do that
one. I'll explain later. Oh goodness, what? I must have put the old ones back in because it's ones we've done before. Ooh. Okay, this is gonna be a tearjerker. Reactions to mom's pancreatic cancer diagnosis.
Oh, no, it's got serious.
Yeah, it got all serious. It's like, well, my allergies are bothering me anyway, so I'm like tearing and crying anyway, so this kind of goes right along with it. Anyway, so who wants to start?
You.
I think I should go last.
Okay, I guess by reasoning, that means I'll go first.
I'll go first because. Well, I'll go first.
I got notified last. Didn't I get notified? I was the last person to know.
I got an internet.
Huh?
Okay. I said okay. I don't know the order in which we found out, but at least from my perspective, I mean, you always hear about stuff like that occurring to other people, other families, stuff like that, not your own type thing. So of course it's, an extra level of seriousness. And then I think the other level is you can't really identify with others until you go through something similar, to the same level. Like people talk about it, we know it's bad, we know it's terrible, but kind of going through and living through it is, you know, um, just makes it all the more real, makes every moment just more important and vital. And I will say, out of anyone that could have gone through that, I think mom was the best one. And the only reason I say that is because of her faith, her conviction, her strong-willedness, her dedication to the Lord, and her encouraging everyone else more so than the other way around. Like, because we're like, oh my God, you know. But she was, you know, I would say a rock, a pillar throughout the whole process. So I, you know, have to tip my hat off to her and others who have, you know, obviously gone through the same thing. Um, you know, just for, you know, it's one thing for us to know someone going through it. It's definitely something different for the person who's actually going through it, you know, and just to have her level of support for the family while she herself had to lean on the Lord to, you know, encourage herself to some extent. I mean, I think that was very commendable. So my overall reaction was a bit of shock, somewhat disbelief. You know, you ask all the questions, well, why, and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, um, you know, we have a very strong, strong-minded and strong-willed mother who um, practiced what she preached, you know, to say the least. And so I really, like I said, I really respect her and commend her for what she did and how she worked with the family through it.
Yeah, I kind of disagree. I know for me, I think I got angry first before anything, but I think it was angry because I was still, well, you know that I was really close to Grandma Wilson, her dad's, you know what I mean, and so I had just come out of a whole situation where for a while I was blaming God for grandma's death anyways, you know what I mean? Just because I felt that, you know, God should have done something else, you know, in my selfish way of thinking. And so when it came down to like, because I was in college, I think I was a freshman in college actually, my first year. So I initially got angry because I was just kind of like, okay, God, once again, here we are back to square one. You know what I mean? What are you about to do this time? And then after anger, then it was kind of fear and worry. And then I think, I mean, well, it was initial shock and disbelief. And I think for me, when it sunk in is when I saw how frail mom became. You know what I mean? So she became, you know, her being the strongest woman I've ever known, um, just really always fighting everybody and everything. You know what I mean? To someone who just is like fighting for her life and watching her just almost in a sense waste away through the treatments and everything of that nature, that I got like really, really scared. So I don't really know how to handle that. So I remember my grades began to drop in school. And then I think I was angry at mom because I was like, it was almost like her optimism was so annoying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how can you sit there and smile and, you know, we're supposed to be trying to make you feel better, but you were literally like going around to everybody else and making them laugh, or, you know what I mean, just saying that things gonna be all right and stuff like that. And I think after that, it was just, I guess, in awe and just inspiration because, you know, just because physically at that time she deteriorated, like spiritually, she still was the strongest person that I knew because like I think she was literally the only one in the family that was just like optimistic about everything, especially when we were getting like the doctor's reports and all that kind of stuff like that. And then just to kind of watch her pray, fast, encourage us, get on me about my grades, you know, everything of that nature. And then to come out and still be fighting and swinging and stuff like that, you know, same thing. Like I have nothing but like, you know, respect, especially because they said like pancreatic is what 8%, 9% survival rate. Like it's not high at all. You know what I mean? So I think it's once again a testament to her faith as she is and everything that, you know, as Josh was saying, she literally practiced what she preached. You know what I mean? All she's always talked about is God being faithful, God coming through, trusting in God. Like that's all she said for us growing up. and to literally watch her put that into practice and handle it. Now, I mean, of course, we don't know what behind closed doors at times, pretty sure she had her moments, but for the most part, she kept up her face in front of everyone else so that other people would not worry. So, yeah.
Yes. And I'm already crying. I'm already emotional. This is a very hard and touchy subject for me. And this is why, one of the reasons why I was told I was the last one to know, because they know how I am, how emotional I am. And so for me, someone kind of gave me a hint that something was wrong ahead of time. And I knew it was pertaining to mom. They kind of let this cat, I think, out the bag. I didn't actually know what was going on, but I knew something was wrong. So I remember I got off of work, I came home, and I walked into the house and the whole family was there. Uncles, cousins, aunts. And I'm like, okay, it's not Thanksgiving. It's not Christmas. Like, why? I mean, in a sense, like, we do have, like, all of our family at times we will get together, but it was just like, I knew something was different. Everybody was congregated in the living room, and I walked in and it was just like, okay, it's not my birthday. It's not a surprise birthday. Like, what the heck is going on? So I remember, my mom, well, our mom obviously was like, okay, come sit down. I have something I want to share with you. And then I was like, okay, I knew it was something grim. And I was like, okay, who died? Because, like, why else is everybody here? But literally everybody was there for my support. Because they know, like, they knew, they were like, Tanya's not going to take this news well at all. So obviously I'm the only girl. And I've shared before, I think, where, mom has really been the rock and the pillar of our family. And the thought of even losing her, it still, like, tears me up. It still makes me so emotional. And I remember when she told me, and I have to bring this, it was in 2009. And that was the same year Patrick Swayze had died from pancreatic cancer. So that was like like, in my mind, when I heard pancreatic cancer, I just thought Patrick Swayze. Like, that's the thing that hit me the most. And I knew that there wasn't, like, a high survival rate. And I immediately fell apart. Like, I just fell to the ground. I just lost it. And I remember, again, everybody trying to console me and, comfort me. And really, it was like, I wasn't trying to make it all about me, because I knew, like, obviously, we're supposed to be there to support mom, but I'm in awe of her strength, because to me, my mom is the strongest person I know. And I left the house. Like, I just left. I left the house. I just couldn't take it. And everybody was looking for me. I think I was, like, in the parking lot of Giant grocery store, just bawling my eyes out in the car. And people were calling my phone. I couldn't even answer my phone. I mean, everybody was, like, worried, like, oh my gosh, like, she shouldn't be out in the streets driving, so emotional. And I remember when I got back, to the house, and mom was just, like, really, really encouraging. I mean, I felt like, mom, and I told her, I said, I should be the one encouraging you. And she told me, she was like, well, I know you are, there'll be moments for that, but at this time, you're the one who needs the encouragement. And it just, like, broke me down, because I was just like, the fact of her just putting her pain and her everything aside to minister to me, like, she's a phenomenal woman. Like, that's all I can say. I always tell her, I'm like, I pray that I'm half the woman that you are, because she's just so amazing. She's amazing. And just just to watch her go through that whole thing. And it was just phenomenal. Like I said, I'm just speechless when it comes to her strength and her just the faith that she has in God, and just knowing that, you know, in the end, like everything was going to be okay. And then, you know, watching her go through the surgery, the Whipple surgery, and just, I mean, like you guys talked about just her deteriorating. I mean, she got so thin, and but she never, like, she was always encouraged. She was always encouraged, like praising God for her healing, and just so optimistic, and just her speed. I mean, everything she talks about, like she walks what she talks. She doesn't just talk it. She doesn't just preach it, but she literally lives it in our presence. And so, and then you all remember, she was doing good, and then in 2012, it came back again. But I think by that time, the second time it came back, I know for me, I at that point, I'm like, listen, I watched her go through the fires, you know, and I know that God didn't bring her this far, you know, to just drop her now. And so just seeing her go through that a second time, I think the second time around, I was a lot more encouraged and optimistic, and just it increased my faith for sure. So, yeah, but my initial reaction was obvious, just to fall apart, you know. But again, just watching mom live out everything that she's always told us, and stand by it in the face of true adversity, you know, it was just amazing to me. Amazing. I know, breathe.
Yeah, I concur. Like I said, I agree with all that. I think the takeaway from all that was just kind of like, you're just in awe at the end of the day. You know what I mean? You know, they say about, you know, how a lot of times your parents become like your superheroes, in a sense. So it really hurts when one of them, you know, because like, you know, as a kid and you're growing up, like your parents are like larger than life, they protect you, they feed you, you know, all that kind of stuff like that. So to see them go through something like that, it can be very traumatizing in aspect, you know. But I think we're just blessed to have someone who taught us never to rely on our own strength.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like that just kind of stick with you, to where even in my own personal situation and vice versa, you think about what God has already done for your family, you know, and how the example that, you know, they set on how to handle stressful, difficult situations. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's true. I think one thing I want to point out too with me, I think one thing I thought about initially when I heard the news, was that, you know, mom has been so faithful and so diligent, so sacrificing in raising her kids, giving up her career to make sure that she gave us, like, she instilled principles and values in us. And so she gave up a lot to raise us. And the thought of her not reaping the rewards of seeing us get married, seeing you graduate from college, having grandkids, I think too that for me, I just felt like, wow, this is so incredibly unfair, especially for a woman who has done so much. You know, there's a chance that she won't be able to reap the benefits of all the things that she invested. And I think too that just, like, you know, broke me. But again, you know, just like you're saying, the example that she set before us, I mean, a lot of times, and not just in this one incident, it's been a lifelong history of just watching her live what she preached. And the totality or the sum of it, you know, in conclusion, is that she really taught us how to live, not just to exist, but mom really taught us how to live, how to conduct ourselves, our lives. And I'm, you know, not excluding our dad, but, you know, the subject matter is dealing with mom, but she really taught us, like, by example of a godly woman, and a woman with conviction and purpose and passion and love for her family, love for her God, love for her faith, love for her husband, love for her children. Like, she really walked that out in our presence. And I'm telling you, we're just so blessed and so fortunate, to have the type of woman that we do for our mother. It's just, I don't take it for granted. Like, I'm really, really grateful. Ryan, why are you laughing? What?
No reason.
Oh, okay. I'm done. Josh, anything in conclusion? Josh, listen, this guy.
I think we already, said everything. I think everyone said it so beautifully. Like, I mean, she was a crazy lady, a strong lady. And,
She was a what? I couldn't hear you.
She was a crazy lady, as we determined from our last episode. But she was also loving and very strong, and she carried on what she preached, as we've said, and I think I don't know what to say. It's just, it was a very sensitive time for the family, and it was a very incredibly challenging time, and it's just a testament to what God can do to bring us out of whatever you're struggling with.
Josh, you had just gotten married, if I'm correct.
Excuse me.
Did you get married like a couple months before Mom got her diagnosis?
I don't know.
What year did you get married, Josh?
I don't know what year Mom got her diagnosis.
2009.
2009.
Huh?
That's the year.
So yeah. I think, because I think you were married like a few months before she got her diagnosis. You had just gotten married. So, Ryan, why are you smiling? What is going on?
Josh is just hilarious.
I mean, just overall, it's just been, like I said, it's a lot. It's good that we were able to come together as a family to rally around, and for her to, as you stated nicely, just to encourage us and throughout the process. And so I just think we can take these lessons that we've learned into everything we do, that, even though the mountain seems insurmountable, with God, we're able to really tackle anything. And as long as you have faith, they say as a mustard seed, if you believe in God and that's his perfect will for you to be healthy, wholesome, and thrive and survive. I mean, I don't think there's anything that you can not tackle, even though the odds can be stacked against you. Because what we see in the natural, and then you see with your spiritual eyes with the Lord behind you, what is he able to handle or not? So,
Amen.
Pretty encouraged.
Preacher Josh. Amen. Preacher on, preacher.
It is this Sunday.
I feel like I want to pass around the collection plate now. Josh.
Do that, yes.
Reverend Josh has spoken. Josh said yes.
I see a $500 line.
$500. I'm so down with you right now.
Yeah, $1,000 line.
You're so. Anyway, thanks guys for making me pick this topic, making me cry on camera. Appreciate it. I mean, I would have been fine with the embarrassing moments. Anyway, good topic though. This is something that
I would have said we hadn't really done that already, almost.
Yeah.
Twice.
Well, y'all have a lot of embarrassing moments. I don't know where y'all trying to act so.
I don't know if we get embarrassed like that though, Zion. I think we're good. Like, oh, you're embarrassed for us, maybe? Like, I don't know. Outside looking in.
That's what it is.
Care about what he does. He does it, and people are like, "Well, Ryan's embarrassed." He's not. He's Ryan. I was embarrassed when I was
What
young.
happened to the falling down the steps? Like, I can talk about the mall in Philly when you impress.
Ryan falling down the stairs because I don't remember any of that.
I thought I
Ryan
like
was trying to impress this
I
girl.
would first. No, it was a
Yes,
job interview.
you were.
It was a job interview. A girl happened to be there, but it was a job interview. That's the reason. Okay.
No, you were trying to impress her. You even told me that.
Let me tell you something. Females were around. They're just naturally impressed by me.
Whatever.
Nah, that was bad. I thought you were talking about the bus station one.
See, there's so many. This is my point. This is my point. There's so many moments.
In college, starting my, I want to say sophomore year, every year I just had like an epic fall of some sort. Like it was just, like I had nothing happen all year, but one, it was always ridiculous in front of a lot of people, and it was always bad. I think the worst one actually wasn't the mall one; it was the bus one, because that's the one when I lost my glasses and they yelled across the street that he.
Josh, did you hear about this? Josh, did you hear about his bus fall? Please tell. Okay, just please quickly tell this story.
I was minding my own business because that's what I do. So now, anyways, so in college, before the Lord blessed with a car, you had to take the bus everywhere. And so I was coming back from like the mall, and it was late, and it was like raining. And so it started raining as I got off the bus stop. So from where the bus stop was to where my apartment was at the time, like you could cut across like parking lots and stuff instead of going all the way around. So what happened was I had my headphones on, I had music blasting, you know what I mean? Rain is going a little bit, so like I'm jogging, but I'm still like hype and dancing. You know, I don't know why I used to like to dance in the rain, just because I think I saw like a YouTube video of dancers doing it, and I was like, yo, I can do that. So I was like gliding all in the rain. Yeah, anyway. So anyways, oops, we're back. All right.
What is the second time you've done this?
I know, I kicked the little stand thing. Anyway, so I'm doing what I do, sliding on the water and whatnot, and I'm running. So there was this parking lot. What happened was there's like, they had like these rails, and they had like these chains connecting like the rails or whatever the case. But it's night, and the chains are black, and the poles are black, so you can't really see or whatever the case. So the way it is, so like there's the rails, there's a parking lot on the right side going that direction is where my apartment is, and that way is where the school was, and the bus stop, and another bus stop was for another bus. So I'm going, minding my business, and then next thing I know, it's almost like, you see like the cartoons when a person is running and someone just sticks out a door in front of them, and like their feet keep going, but like their head like or body stops. Well, it was like that except reversed. So what happened is the music is going and I'm running, and the chains hit like my thighs, and I don't know how I flipped over. I just remember the world spinning. But somehow as I'm flipping over, I got tangled in the chain, and I don't know how, because I never hit the ground. But because so like I run, I'm like, whoo, I hit the chain, I flip over, my glasses fly one way, my headphones or phone or whatever fly a different direction, and like here's the ground, and I'm like here, but I'm just like dangling because I'm stuck in the chain. And then like there's this sharp pain. I hear the music still playing. I don't know, whatever, Lecrae or Andy Mineo or whatever case, still playing. And I'm trying to figure out. And then it's like all of a sudden my glasses are gone. Now, when the place that it fell, there's a lot of shiny rocks. So like after I untangled the chain, or well, before I untangled, all I hear are people at the bus stop. No. wiped out, son. Did you see that? Like, and like I'm hearing that, but I can't see him. So like, and so then all of a sudden, I'm like, all right, well, I gotta go. So then I go look for my glasses, but everything is shiny. So I can't see where it's at. And then I hear him, yo, Andy can't see, son. Because I'm looking for my glasses. I was like, the disrespect. The point of the matter is I never found my glasses. So I had to like pick myself up and limp back over to where my apartment was, knock on the door because I couldn't find my keys either. So my roommate comes out and he's like, what the devil did you just get like robbed? Like, and so I had to tell him what happened. And then before he helps me, he dies on the floor, just falls out laughing. He said, yo, I knew you was blind, but I didn't know you was that blind, whatever. And so he goes back and then he helps me pick up my glasses and everything. And then I go back further on with my education. And that was, what was that? That was senior year in college.
The last music video of you dancing in the rain.
Yeah, pretty much.
Somebody got it on video.
No, hope not. Well, I would have been viral at that point in time. Somebody called that.
It would have been viral.
It would have been viral if that was it. And that was senior year. So every year there was like a big epic, and it kept getting worse and worse and worse. It was like college. I don't go. So I joke around and tell people I'm actually way overdue for a fall. So far.
I don't know what it is. It's like the together side of our family, like uncles, cousins, everybody has like epic falls. Like Uncle Don, I think Shonda, I think Auntie, like something happens, like epic falls, epic crashes. Remember when Auntie, sorry, Aunt Connie, remember when she crashed into the glass at church? She thought she could just walk through because it was so.
And she left her lipstick smear all over the glass.
I'm like, what's going on with this family? Yeah. Anyway, and just real quick, I'm gonna go through. So my most embarrassing moment, since Josh doesn't have any, because he doesn't get embarrassed, whatever.
He issues them out, he doesn't receive.
Whatever. So, with me, I was on my way to the post office. And I was with one of my friends and we were dropping some mail off. I was on the phone with a guy I was dating at the time, talking, not even paying attention to like what I was doing, what was going on, or whatever. So I was so engrossed in our conversation that we were talking, and I had I had the phone in my hand and I was walking through the door, but like kind of out my peripheral, I see this guy like kind of coming behind me. So I was stepping through, but I was like, oh wait, let me go back and like use my hand and like stop the door to hold it for him. And so when I went to do that, I didn't realize he had already came through the door. So I didn't even look behind me. I just stepped back. To grab the door, and my hand was down low, because I'm like reaching back like this. And I don't know what happened with the camera, why I'm zoomed in right now, but anyway, I don't know what happened. But anyway, so I went to like, hit my hand. So my hand landed not on the door.
Really?
It pretty much landed like in a very delicate place on this gentleman. And the crazy thing about it was it took me by surprise because I clearly expected to hit like the glass door to the post office, but it was like squishy and fabricy and I was just like kind of like, this doesn't feel like like I was literally like, wait, this
Wow. Wow.
That could be embarrassing.
So when I looked back, the man was like this, like looking down with his hands up, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I was like, excuse me, I normally don't do this. I
Don't do this.
I ran out of the post office. I was like, forget it. This doesn't have to get mailed. Like, just forget it. I left. I ran out. I was so embarrassed. so embarrassed. Yeah.
So we just copping feels now.
Right.
Yes,
Feeling on the
So,
right.
yeah, that was my least moment where I shone bright like a diamond. I was not shining bright at all. It's like, oh my God, this man is going to file a sexual harassment suit against me. Like,
Yep.
Anyway. But yeah, so moment in the life of a Griffin. So anyway, thank you all for sharing. And next episode, we will actually have our parents on this episode. So we're so excited to introduce to those of you who don't know who our parents are. Both our mom and dad will be on the show with us. So stay tuned.